Maxx isn't here yet. Should probably make sure this is tight, huh? How you doing? We're live, and we're happy to be here. Zach, how's it going? Let's go. Let's go Wolves. We're gonna have fun out here today. Maxwell Fuller on his way. If we can get everything tightened up and ready to go. You don't need to see me though. Share your thoughts in the comments.
What's going on, Zach?
How's it going? You can see Anthony. We got two big old stars out here. Question is, where is Maxx gonna be? Where do we meet up with Maxx? I hope he's ready to just go right into it because he's about to go right into it. Look at this crowd. Look at this crowd.
I didn't grab one, man.
Everybody tweet Maxx at KFan Fights. Tell him to get up here because we're partying. Look at this. So here's the cage. If you're watching here, come on by the cage and share your thoughts on all of this fun excitement going on here. Great win by the Wolves. How's it going, boys? Let's go. Great win by the Wolves, says Todd. Let's go Wolves. That guy. We got in-person and virtual comments going on right now. Look at this. What a man. It's just it's crazy. I don't know how to describe it. Zacho the man. Conley was a beast. He was, Duvu. He was. Let's go, Deshaun. We're going to get I'm not even going to try that, Todd. We'll let Maxx and Alex, look at that. Will we see Paul? I don't think Hawk wants to talk with the media right now. He's too excited. He's partying. He got like under the court seats. So, a lot of people are like feet on the floor. His head was under the floor. He loves it though. You can't get enough. Wolves in 4. We're saying Wolves in 4. Look at all those people. Look at all those chickens. Look at this. Let's go. Ben Ryder. Wolves back. Wolves in 5. Wolves back. See, here's the thing. I love to kind of start Fanline, but I feel like it'd be kind of disingenuous because I don't know what I'm looking at. But Maxx does, so he's almost here. Yes, how's it going? Yes. Go Wolves. Have a good night, boys. I mean, look at this. This is the cage. We're going to be doing Fanline in here. You can see the live stream. Here's my finger on the screen. But yes, isn't that crazy? Technology, man. You guys are on. Woo! Yeah. Oh, Wolves. Back to the champagne room. Almost there. Why isn't Marnie's working? Marnie will be on that TV over there. So we love our Marnie Gellner. We love her. She's great. She's not quite, she's not free right now. She's busy. That's headroom. I miss Howell. Does that work? Does that work? I'll do it better. I just don't want to scream somebody's face. Wolves in 4. That's the common. Craig Dulph's brother and Go Wolves. Wolves in 5. Hootie. Yep, absolutely. How drunk is Zach?
News help me say Caden, baby.
Jaden McDaniels. That's who he was talking about. You see, I can maybe. Here we go. We're live. I couldn't wait.
Oh, we're live already.
Yeah. I mean, are you kidding me?
Look
You
at
missed
it.
this?
It's a freaking party, man. The Wolves beat the Suns with just a few minutes to go in the fourth quarter. You could hear something that sounded like hope. You could hear something that sounded like belief. You could hear something that sounded like Wolves in four. Let's go! Wolves in four! Wolves in four! Nobody wants to chat with you, but that's okay. We're all excited anyway. What's up, Nick?
Yeah.
McDaniels with a freaking magnificent masterpiece of a game. Just like I said at halftime, by the way. Check your boy. I got some knowledge here.
And people, you see, Tommy made the television.
Tommy made the TV.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no way. Hey, let's go. Over here. We're doing this. Yeah. Baby, let's go! Turn out! Let's go! That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some, Max. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, give me a chest bump. Are you ready? Yeah.
Did you ever think we'd see the day where the Wolves would have a 2-0 series lead and a dominant one at that?
What's good, brother? How you doing?
Hey, look at this!
Why did you get this a camera? Why did you and Dan switch seats halfway through the game?
Because it was a good luck thing. You know what I'm saying? We thought the vibes were off, and look what happened. We switched seats.
I saw
The
it.
Wolves come
I
through.
spoke to it. Zach, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Brother, appreciate it.
Look at this.
Everybody's hyped.
Wolves are four.
Wolves are four, baby. Come on, tell them. Tell the camera, y'all. Hey, come here. Tell the camera, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes, sir. We taking pictures like I scored the game-winning shot or something. That's how happy everybody is out here, man. Hey, talk to the camera real quick.
Hey, Wolves in four.
Wolves in
Wolves in four.
I didn't even have to tell him. He already knew. Wolves in four. You see it? You see it? You see
We
it?
don't-
You see it? You see it? You see it?
We don't need no. We don't know. We don't need no game 5.
Yes, sir.
No, we're gonna get some rest. We don't need no game 5. Let's
We don't need no
go.
game 5.
Why?
We gonna see Denver pretty soon. Hootie-oo. Hey, give me a hootie-oo real quick. Hootie-oo. Yes, sir. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, this one. Oh, okay. Oh no, let's have a mental handshake real quick. Let's go. Appreciate you, dog. Hey, talk to the camera real quick, bro. Not everybody wants to be in front of the camera, but everybody wants to be a part of the Wolves party, beating the Suns, taking a 2 Wolves in 4. Wolves in 4, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir.
I don't think. Are we gonna say? Is Tommy gonna make it out alive here? He was very drunk. People are asking about him. Look at this.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, defense all day. What a time.
Wolves in 4, baby. Wolves in 4. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Not a single person has even an ounce of doubt in this team. Let's go. Yes, sir. You know it. Not
Man.
even one of these people is doubting that this Wolves team is going to get it done in 4. These Suns, they can't hang with us. Y'all have heard of the brief. Yes, sir. Tell them. Tell them.
Are we gonna be on TV behind these? Feel bad for Fox 9 picked a bad spot.
Right, the first day I just was on Fox for my first day this morning.
Oh God.
And now all of a sudden I'm setting them up for fair because I'm in the background screaming. My man Pierre is trying to do some actual journalistic work, but I'm out here screaming. I'm part of the party. I'm part of the people. Yes, sir. How we doing, brother? You're doing great.
How you doing,
Talk
man?
to you on Instagram Live right now, bro.
All right, what do you got?
Say what? How you feel about the game? Let's go. Let's go! Oh, that was y'all! No way! Oh, no way, man! I appreciate that! It's good to see you. Good to finally meet meet you, man. Okay, so I'll be right back. Hold up. The people need me.
All right. Yeah. Oh. Wow. Incredible. Love it.
What's good? Huh?
KFAN.com/watch.
KFAN.com/watch.
4 Wolves and 4.
No, on YouTube. On YouTube.
So we got like a traditional fan line coming up after the network post games. We'll be on the radio. But for now, we're just kind of hanging out.
I'm getting dapped up left and right. Everybody's excited for this Wolves team. Hold up, I gotta talk to my homegirls over here. Can I take the camera? Do you
Yes,
mind
go
if I
ahead.
take the camera, Zacho? They don't call me Quentin Tarantino for no reason. What's up, y'all? Yeah! Wolves in 4. Wolves in 4. Wolves in 4. Got the boy links. They're gonna join the fan line after this. Coming up shortly. Albie's getting pictures taken.
Thanks, boys.
Everybody's excited. Yes, sir.
Wolves, baby. Let's go.
Gotta get one of the Maxx.
Yep.
Yes, sir. All right, Maxx, you on.
I mean, look at that. But if you have a question or comment for Maxx, leave it in the comments. I'll try to ask it. I'll try to keep it like somewhat knowledgeable. Don't like ask if like Wally Zerbiak's gonna go out again. Maybe rejoin the squad.
I'm telling random people I love them because there's just so much love in the building right now. Everybody's excited about the Timberwolves. The whole city's buzzing right now. Let's go, Wolves in 4! Download it! I can see it on your face! I knew he wanted to say that. I can just see the belief. I can see the fire in people's eyes. My boy. My dog. My dog. Let's go. Talk to him real quick, MC John B.
You doing, Max?
Yes, sir. You know it. You know it. You know it. Max.
The consensus seems to be they don't want to see Kevin Durant or anybody from the Suns come back here.
No. They ain't coming back.
No, we'll take care of business
They
in
ain't coming back. The Wolves are coming back with a clean.
Get the brooms out. Let's go.
Get the brooms out. I thought I see brooms in Phoenix. Hey, what's up, little man? How you doing? Good. What's your name? What's your name? Oh, wow.
Love it. Got it in there.
It was awesome, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Let's go. Wolves in 4, right, little man? Yeah. Appreciate it. Future Minnesota Wolf. The Timberwolves superstar. What is that? Let me see that. KD. Oh, let's go. We got the KD killer in the house.
My goodness.
This is crazy.
And you know what? Let's just give them a little love across the street. Twins just walked off on the White Sox.
Oh, did they actually?
Yeah.
Twins just walk.
Twins win! Kind of doesn't really matter.
We got any questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, let's go. Got Wintersville from Dan.
Yes, sir.
Twins walk off win. Get the brooms out. Love you, Maxx. Yeah, hoping. No, I don't see Tommy. I don't think Tommy's going to be able to join us.
He might be on the
Do you
floor.
see his seats, man?
No.
Row 1, like not on the floor, like basically on the outside looking into the courtside club. But
Tommy's big boy
good
job's
for him.
paid well.
Ask Maxx what he thought of Conley tonight. That's what Scott says.
Tommy, I mean, a consummate professional, seriously. He's the kind of guy that knows when his offense is needed, and tonight his offense was needed. He hit big shot after big shot after big shot. It was amazing. Yes, sir.
That's
Talk
that
to
up.
Timmy real quick.
That's that up.
2004?
For sure.
Yes, sir.
We're out here killing them by 20 games. What do you got else to do? What else you got to say?
Tell them. Tell them. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. The people are lit.
Matt asked, who was your MVP of the game?
Man, that's really hard. I'm going to have to go with my guy, Jaden McDaniels. He always gets assigned the toughest defensive matchup and handles it with aplomb. And like I said at halftime, he knew, you could tell after that little scuffle with Devin Booker and how just kind of cold the Wolves were shooting in general, he knew that he needed to step up in his game as well. See, that's what I'm talking about. This team is so cohesive. The IQ of this team, the collective IQ of this team is just sky high. Mike Conley knew when his offense was needed. Jaden McDaniels knew when his offense was needed, and he absolutely exploded in the second half. I think he finished the game with like 24 points, 25 points, something like that. Fantastic Jaden McDaniels game. I'd have to say he's the MVP.
Wow. Jeremy asked, what was the key to win game? What is the key to win game 3?
The key to win game 3 is to stay out of foul trouble. That was really the problem in the first half. I mean, Cat getting into foul trouble, he had three fouls by the second quarter. Kind of just threw him out of the loop. It threw the whole Wolves offensive and defensive schemes out of the loop. We really need Karl-Anthony Towns spacing on offense. We really need his big shot making on offense, his rebounding on offense, not to mention his defense, man, because we ask a lot of Karl-Anthony Towns. I know he's not known as the most prolific defender, but we ask a lot of him defensively. And you could see it. Without Karl-Anthony Towns on the floor, the Wolves kind of just broke down. They couldn't get the defensive sets that they really wanted against a really talented Phoenix team. So I think the key is to just have Karl-Anthony Towns stay out of foul trouble, have everybody stay out of foul trouble, and have the key side pieces, not really side pieces, you know, but the, I don't want to say it like that, you know.
What do you think of the matchup so for the game wise for like KD and Beal? And what do you think of the matchups for that though?
I would say that the Wolves are handling it well. I mean, Kevin Durant didn't. I mean, yeah, last game Kevin Durant they guarded him beautifully. He was just, hey, what's good? Good. How you doing? High school. No way, dog. No. It's good to see you, dog. So you got glasses on there? I used to be the school bully right there. I used to beat everybody up at school. He done cleaned up, and so did the Wolves, baby. Wolves and 4. Am I right, dog? Good to see you, dog. Possible to be 3? Yes, sir. I don't know what he meant by it's possible to be 3, but
I mean,
maybe he knows something more about basketball.
that seems like pretty historic.
Yeah. Maybe he knows something that
A white bear math going on there.
Sure.
But
Any more questions?
oh yeah, we got
Talk to the people. Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Go Wolves, baby.
Wolves. Zach asks, Max, is Grayson Allen's exit back-to-back a Suns killer?
Yeah, I mean, he's a huge part of that team. He led the league in three-point percentage. He really helps the spacing with the Suns, and you saw them kind of struggle with that. And it helps the Wolves defensively because they don't have to have someone run around and chase them. Someone like Karl-Anthony Towns can do something better on defense, like guarding Kevin Durant, guarding Bradley Beal, whatever. So Grayson Allen being out is a huge boon to the Suns.
Oh, wow. Let's see here. Did you have to mind your P's and Q's next to Barrero tonight?
I had to be on my best behavior. Couldn't when I was up in the up in the higher section with Zacho and Nick, I could kind of be a rube and rube out a little bit, but I had to be on my best behavior. Give a little golf clap under the table. It was really hard. I'm like bursting out the seams. That's why I'm chest bumping everybody, dapping everybody out because I've been wanting to do that the whole game. What a freaking game! What a roller coaster of a game, man. I'm still hyped up from it.
Donnie asks, what's up with the refereeing?
It's always something with the referee. Phoenix gets those calls. They're just one of those teams that gets those calls, like the Lakers, like seemingly everybody but the Minnesota Timberwolves. But even though it did seem a little skewed at halftime, I don't think the Suns ended up shooting that many more free throws than the Wolves. And the Wolves ended up, it didn't really matter anyways because the Wolves ended up playing some pretty clean defense and not sending them to the free throw line as much as they did in the first half.
Let's take a break. We're going to go, we'll bring it back to network Fanline. You'll be able to hear it on the stream. We're going to kind of catch our breath here after an incredible Game 2 victory, and incredible dance moves by Maxx Fuller, and it's unbelievable. And I guess one more question for you, Max, as we go to break. I mean, you've been a Wolves fan your entire life.
Yeah.
This is unfamiliar territory. I mean, I you were what, 9 in 2003?
I was in 4th grade during 2004.
Yeah. So, I mean, what does this feel like? Are you do you know what to feel? How do you
I
feel?
don't even know how to feel right now, to be honest. It's just nothing but pure elation. It's what I imagine that pretty much every other fan base in the United States gets to feel about their basketball team or one of their local sports team. It's just pure elation. I can't wipe the smile off my face to save my life right now. If someone put a gun to my head and said, you got to stop smiling, then consider me dead, brother, because I'm so happy right now. I'm happy for this team. I'm happy for this city. I'm happy for the players. I'm happy for the coaching staff. It's awesome right now because this Wolves team's got a lot of hype. And so far, they're living up to it. 2-0, going to Phoenix. pull out the brooms, baby.
All right, stick around. You'll be able to listen to Cal and the Wolves Radio Network crew for a little bit. We'll be back here, and of course, full-on Fanline on the fan tonight. And be sure to be ready with those talkbacks and texts and all that as well. So stick around. It's Wolves Fanline after a huge 105-93 victory over the Suns in game number 2.
The Timberwolves on a night when Anthony Edwards, was bottled up and they were throwing multiple defenders at him. 15 points for Ant on 3 of 12 shooting, but he got to the free throw line 8 times, hit 7 of those, had 8 assists to lead the team in that category, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block shot. Anthony Edwards doing whatever it takes. Timberwolves up 2-0 on the Phoenix Suns. Tonight's 3 factors are brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Before we get to our 3 factors, the Timberwolves keep the streak alive. Home teams have not lost in the NBA playoffs. It's now 12-0, but that will be put to the test here in the next 8.5 minutes because Indiana leads at Milwaukee in Game 2 of that series. Without Giannis, the Pacers up by 12 with 8:25 and counting left to go in the fourth. If the Pacers win, that'll be the first time a road team has won a playoff game in this series. Our first factor in the Wolves' win tonight, dominant defense. It's been the story in the first 2 games. The Wolves held the Suns to 93 points here tonight on 45% shooting, 36% from deep. They only gave up 19 free throw attempts. At the half, the Suns had 15 free throw attempts. They had just 4 in the second half. And we talked with Corliss Williamson at the half about adjusting to the way this game was being called. It was very different than in Game 1, and the Wolves really struggled, especially in that second quarter, as they picked up a rash of fouls. They allowed the Suns to get to the free throw line 8 times in the second quarter, 7 times in the first quarter. So 15 the first half. They had just 4 the rest of the game. And leading into our second factor, not only the defense, but this is a part of the defense, but forcing turnovers. Saturday night, 15 Phoenix turnovers for 23 Minnesota points. Tonight, 20 Phoenix turnovers for 31 points. The Wolves had a whopping 31-2 advantage in points off of turnovers. A big, big factor here tonight. Finally, our third factor, Mike, Jaden, and Rudy. So Cat didn't really have it going, had 12 points in this game. Ant didn't have it going scoring-wise. He had just 15 points. The bench wasn't quite as productive as it was in Game 1, with Nas and Nikhil being the primary players. Monte did play 11 minutes in this game and had just 2 points. So the Wolves, where were they going to get offense from? Well, Mike Conley, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert all answered the bell. They combined for 61 points, and combined they shot 61%. The rest of the team combined for 44 points, shot just 30% from the team from the field. So the Wolves needed the big 3 of Mike. Big 3. It's the first time this year we've referred to all 3 of them together as the big 3 in a game. But that's the versatility that this team has, that they can get big performances like that from Mike Conley, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. They were all tremendous and helped pace the way, and they got just enough from everybody else. The Wolves did lose the battle on the boards tonight after going plus 24 in Game 1. They were a -2. They were a -1 on the offensive glass, and they did not have a huge advantage points in the paint. They were +8, but they were and only +2 in second chance points, but they really made up for it in the 31-2 points off of turnovers. And they had 30 free throw attempts. Wolves went 26 of 30 at the free throw line. I absolutely love the way the Timberwolves are shooting free throws right now. It's a really underrated part of this. 20 of 22 in Game 1, that's 91%. They shot 87%. In the regular season, the Wolves were a very average free throw shooting team. 78% for the season. That ranked 18th out of 30 teams. Here's a fourth factor for you. Grayson Allen, the Phoenix Suns are not a deep team. When you have the majority of your money spent on Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant, does not allow you to go out and get, spend a lot of money on 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th roster players. And Grayson Allen has gone out twice with a sprained right ankle. We certainly hope the best for him. Boy, that looked painful the second time tonight. But Allen went out in Game 1 with 4:44 left to go in the third quarter, and the Timberwolves then outscored the Suns 27-12 over the next 8 minutes to go up 25, ball game over. Grayson Allen went out with 9:17 left to go in the third quarter tonight, and Minnesota then outscored Phoenix 41-23 to lead by 17, and it was game over late in the fourth, mid to late in the fourth quarter. So that injury has turned out to be a real turning point. I think the Wolves were well on their way to winning both of those games, but without Allen, it just didn't provide any kind of long-range threat, consistent long-range threat, which the number one shooter in the NBA gives you in Grayson Allen. So he's been injured twice, and the Wolves have dominated as soon as he's gone out both times. 105-93 is the final. Those are your three factors, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. We'll talk to you again on Friday night when the Wolves take on the Suns in Game 3. The pregame show gets underway at 9 p.m. Central Time. Tip time is set for 9:30. That likely means 9:40. There could be a slide to probably 9:50. It's going to be a late night on Friday night. Friday and Sunday in Phoenix, Wolves and Suns, games 3 and 4. Hope you can join us for those. Special thanks to our engineer, Mike Weber, doing a great job as always. Our statistician, Super Dave Hanlon, doing a great job as always. Alan Horton saying so long. Good night from our broadcast spot here in section 132 of the Lower Bowl. And stay tuned because Cal Soderquist has more of the postgame next all across the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Bring the fun to family time with a visit to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Start by making a splash and memories at the lagoon. Our indoor water park includes a lazy river, an activity pool, and more exciting features. Then hit the lanes at Island Extreme Bowl for some family-friendly competition before you head to our luxurious hotel for a relaxing night away. Book your stay now at ticasino.com. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination fun.
Is it possible to see the unseeable? Could advanced imaging technology allow doctors to look deeper into the human body, uncovering the smallest of details that would otherwise go unnoticed, leading to more accurate diagnoses and treatments? Is it possible? It already is, because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
You're listening to the postgame show on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Another night, another victory for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They've now improved their lead in this best-of-7 series to 2-0 after the 105-93 win over the Phoenix Suns here tonight. That 12-point win doesn't necessarily tell the whole tale, especially how Minnesota was able to really find a fifth gear and build some separation in that fourth quarter. It started again in the second half of that third frame as they closed with an 18-8 burst after the 21-5 run saw them gain some serious separation in game one. Just a 7-point lead that they carried into the fourth quarter, but then really hit the gas in that fourth, and the party was once again on inside an absolutely electric Target Center. Welcome back inside the Federated Insurance postgame show. Cal Soderquist here with you as we inch closer to wrapping up our network postgame coverage. But the conversation will continue on our flagship station, KFAN 100.3, The Fan. Max Fuller once again hosting Fanline, the Howland Show. He'll take your calls. He'll share his reactions as well. That's coming up just a few moments from now. First, though, let's run through a few of the second half highlights. Timberwolves and Suns meeting up in Game 2 tonight here at the Target Center before the series will shift to Phoenix this coming weekend. Wolves made it look easy in the second half, especially late in that third quarter and in the fourth in Saturday's romp, but found it a little tougher sledding in the opening 12 minutes of this one. Offense in general was hard to come by for both squads. Halfway through that opening frame, the Wolves had built just a 16-7 lead, so really leaning on their defense. It got the Target Center crowd into it right away, which was excellent. But as that first quarter finished, Phoenix closing the quarter with a 14-8 run. They got to within 3 after 12, 24-21. We fast forward through much of that second frame as the Suns controlled for much of that quarter. They led by as many as 8, but it was the Timberwolves scoring the final 6 points of that first half and actually trailing by just a single point at the intermission, 51-50. And as that third quarter got going, it was starting to look like game one all over again in terms of the Timberwolves finding a fifth gear.
Here's Ant quickly up in the front court, bringing some pace to the proceedings. They'll pull it out against Durant. 3:13 left to go in the third. Wolves by 5. Ant with a right-handed dribble, setting up Durant. Thought about the three, now pulls up on a deep 2 and hits it! Anthony Edwards gets just his second field goal of the game. It comes with 3:03 left to play in the third, and it puts the Wolves up 7. It's a 10-0 Minnesota run. It forces Frank Vogel to use another timeout.
Ants 15 points on 3 of 12 shooting. Not quite as sparkly as the 33 in game one, but still very, very much effective, especially in the second half here tonight. He also led the way with a team best 8 assists. Hits that bucket right there over Kevin Durant. He's described KD before as his GOAT, as Ant puts it, so he's got to be having a ton of fun hitting these shots over a guy he grew up idolizing. That bucket right there got the Target Center crowd up off their seats, and again later in the quarter, Nickeil Alexander-Walker lifting the Wolves to their first double-digit advantage of the night.
He has seen some heavy pressure. Ant with it off the Rudy screen. Thought about a three instead. The corner, Nickeil fires on the triple and strokes it. How about that from Nickeil Alexander-Walker? I told you his corner threes, 4th best in the NBA, 45%. He missed one in the first half. He knocks this one down, his first of the night.
So a 10-point advantage at that point. Again, part of a larger 18-8 Timberwolves burst to finish up that third frame. They led by 20 after 3 quarters and on Saturday's game one victory. Just a 7-point advantage for the Timberwolves this time around as we entered the fourth. But into that fourth quarter, became fairly evident fairly quickly that Jaden McDaniels and the Timberwolves were, well, dead set on racing past this Suns team once again in this second half.
Wolves are now up to 47% shooting. Remember, they were down to 37% shooting at one point. Jaden with it, wing left off the cat screen, drives into the bucket, lays it in again! 22 for Jaden McDaniels. Timberwolves up by 17. It's now an 11-0 run. Jaden's having himself a night. Target Center is beside themselves. And Frank Vogel has to burn another timeout. He's got 0 left. None. Zip. Nada. Zilch.
Yeah, Frank Vogel was straight up not having a good time here tonight on the sidelines as he and his Phoenix Suns suffer a second straight loss in this series, a 105-93 defeat. This time, Jaden McDaniels leads the way for the Timberwolves, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, also added a steal. He was 10 of 17 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep. Played 41 minutes here tonight, too, and just remember, all that offensive production and everything he's doing that actually fills up the stat sheet does not tell how hard he's working, chasing around either Devin Booker or Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal all night long on the defensive end. He was phenomenal there as well, really making those three earn it for Phoenix. But Jaden was special here tonight, even got some jokes from his head coach on the board production. 8 rebounds for Jaden. You'll love to see that, certainly. He and the Timberwolves get this victory. Why don't we pause one final time on our network postgame show? We'll come back, get inside that Timberwolves locker room. Sounds like Mike Conley going to meet with the media here shortly. We'll have it for you next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
Life's a game. You better be ready for it. Dynamic Drips can give your body what it needs to perform at its very best through mobile IV infusion therapy. A professionally trained nurse comes directly to you, your office, your home, your couch even. Their team administers an IV drip, loading your body with essential hydration and vitamins you think you've been getting but desperately need. Vitamin C, vitamin B, calcium, magnesium. Are you getting all those? Dynamic Drips IV can get you all that and so much more directly into your body. See how good your body can feel. DynamicDrips.com.
You are our local businesses. You are our community partners, our neighbors, families, and friends. You represent the American dream and uphold the spirit in which it was created. Since 1904, Federated Mutual Insurance Company has been honored to serve and help protect your business. When you need us, we're here to help, face to face. At Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
Conley with it off the Gobert screen. Pops on the three and strokes it again. He's hit 2 here in the quarter. Mike's the leading scorer for the Wolves with a dozen. 4:42 left to go, second quarter. It's a 4-point game.
How about Mike Conley carrying the load offensively for the Timberwolves tonight? 14 first-half points. That was good enough to lead all scorers in those first 2 quarters. And again, the Wolves leaned on their defense all night. Yes, certainly. But Mike providing some timely buckets, especially in that first half, to keep the Timberwolves in this ball game. They actually trailed by as many as 8 in those first 24 minutes. They were down just a single point at the half. But then finally, when other guys stepped up and were able to get things rolling offensively, Mike had kept them in the ball game up until that point. Let's get inside that Wolves locker room. Mike Conley meeting with the media right now.
I think we took it to another level defensively, for one. I think we got even more physical and competing on the ball. I mean, nobody was getting beat on backdoor cuts, like small things and the details that we were doing earlier in games and previous games. So that locked-in mentality is what carried us through the second half.
The points off turnovers were humongous. It was like 31-2 or something like that. Just how were you guys able to take advantage in a way that they weren't?
Yeah, I think that over time we try to wear people down with our style, and if we were able to create turnovers and generate turnovers, we got guys that can run. Jaden is one of them, and Nikhil, guys that can get out in transition and try to make plays. And when we make the right decisions and get it on the rim, I think we were successful, and tonight was one of those nights.
Speaking of Jaden, what can you say about his effort tonight? Really, there's a big difference in this game.
Yeah, man, he was an all-star tonight, the way he played. Both ends of the floor, competing on the ball, competing on the offensive end. I mean, I was more proud of he was crashing the glass and getting second chance points and creating opportunities for himself without needing to have the ball. And that's important for him because he's going to have to stay engaged. He's going to have to stay aggressive for us to win this series, and we're going to need even more out of him.
2-0 series lead now. What needs to change? What needs to stay the same as this series moves to Phoenix?
Yeah, obviously we'll watch the film and see what we can get better at. They made some adjustments that gave us some trouble, so we're going to look at those and try to figure out how to attack that and how to best be ready to go for Game 3.
Hey, Mike, you guys have been obviously great defensively all
That's
year.
Mike Conley in the locker room moments ago after tonight's 105-93 Timberwolves victory, and great response there. Great question there on now this series will shift to Phoenix, and if you thought we had a desperate Suns team tonight at the Target Center trailing 1-0 in the series, well, just imagine the kind of desperation they will play with on both Friday's Game 3 and Sunday night's Game 4. Their backs are against the wall. They know that they have very little margin for error left in this series, that they now trail 2-0 and have really not been all that competitive in the second halves of either of these first 2 games. But we won't search for answers for the opponents, certainly. Timberwolves have a 2-0 lead in this series, and they'll now pack things up and head to the Valley of the Sun for this upcoming weekend. For Alan Horton, I'm Cal Soderquist. Big thank you to our on-site engineer, Mike Weber, our statistician, Super Dave Handelin, and our studio coordinators, Ben Haney and Alex Leibold. Again, signing off on our network coverage right now, but if you're listening on our flagship, 100.3 KFAN, The Fan, keep it right there. The conversation continues with Fanline, hosted by Max Fuller. He'll be taking your calls, your reactions, and sharing his thoughts from this Game 2 win tonight at the Target Center as well. So stay tuned right there. If you're listening on our network, we will talk to you again on Friday night. Get that extra afternoon cup of coffee. Stay up late with us. Wolves and Suns tip off just after 9:30 Central Time. Our pregame coverage begins at 9 o'clock. We hope you'll join us then on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
You've been listening to Timberwolves Playoff Basketball, brought to you by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Timberwolves, equal housing lender, member FDIC. By Marvin, custom crafted windows and doors designed for your world. By Treasure Island Resort and Casino, the exclusive casino partner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And by Mayo Clinic, your source for medical answers. This has been a presentation of the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Timberwolves playoff basketball and the Minnesota Vikings NFL Draft. What a time to be alive. Listen live all week to Minnesota's audio home for sports. iHeartRadio and KFAN, The Fan.
Hey, it's Nordo, and I'm telling you, nobody has more Vikings draft coverage than 9 to noon. Whether it's the play caller.
Here is Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, joining yours truly, Paul Allen.
Or the decision maker.
Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, general manager for the Minnesota Vikings, with us on KFAM.
How about top opinion makers?
Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com. It's PFT. Yeah, you know we.
Even players.
Appreciate you, man. Love our chats. Thank you. Josh Metellus.
9 to noon is your Vikings draft headquarters on The Fan.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to help put $1,000 in your hand. Listen weekdays for your shot to win.
Guys, don't rely on your short game.
Go big or go home.
Crush it with your Big Deck from BigDeck.com, and you'll have birdies all around. Call BigDeck.com today and be on par for seasons to come. BigDeck.com. Get your deck on.
The Guaranteed Cash offer is filled with benefits that you will love. Hi, I'm Chris Lindahl, and I want to share with you a short list of just a few things you don't have to worry about when you get an offer from us. There are no commissions, no repairs, no decluttering, and no showings. It's that simple. We'll even give you a cash offer the same day we meet. If you need to sell fast, then you should go to chrislindahl.com right now to get your Guaranteed Cash offer and start packing.
It's Angela Warner, and at Warner Stellian, we're rewriting the rules of Black Friday. Forget waiting until November and forget the frenzy. Black Friday starting early this year at Warner Stellian with unbeatable appliance deals you won't find anywhere else. Choose from exclusive savings on top brands. Then trust our appliance specialist for personalized advice to make every purchase a perfect fit. Plus, relax while our pros handle installation without a scratch. Join the savvy shoppers and get ahead of the game during Warner Stellian's Spring Black Friday.
This is the audio home for Timberwolves playoff basketball.
Rudy, baseline hammer. Two-handed flush off the feed from Ant.
FM 100.3, KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul. The Fan.
It's been cloudy all day in the Twin Cities because even Mother Nature knew we weren't going to let the sun shine today. And much like Mother Nature herself, the Wolves made it rain in the second half on their way to a 105-93 win against the Phoenix Suns, taking a 2-0 lead in the opening round of the Western Conference playoffs. 6 different players scored in double digits, with Jaden McDaniels leading the way with 26 points in 41 minutes. What a game. What a game. Max Fuller here with Mark Rosen and Angie and Anna of the Boy Links podcast. This is the Timberwolves fan line, a.k.a. Wolves After Dark, a.k.a. Howlin' with the homies, and we all RSVP'd for the party that is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Mark Rosen.
Well, Max, yeah, we are seeing the Timberwolves at their playoff best right now. This has been a process that's been over the last couple of years. The Memphis series, the Denver series, the lack of maturity, the lack of experience, whatever you want to call it. They have all the pieces right now. And what we're seeing in the second half of these first 2 games is the same team we pretty much saw all year long. Defensive smothering that they have, the ability to have other players produce. I mean, Anthony Edwards, after his explosive game in Game 1, if you were told that Edwards would be 3 for 12, Naz Reid would be 1 for 5, 0 for 3 on 3-pointers, and Karl Anthony Towns would be 3 for 7. You go, oh boy, what did Phoenix win by?
Right.
And they smoked him, and they took him out of their game, and they have no answer. This is the thing: they exhausted their timeouts, they exhausted their team. They don't have the bench strength that the Wolves have. They don't have the inside game. Rudy Gobert, 18 points, 9 rebounds. But you mentioned at the outset the game of Jaden McDaniels' life tonight. He's been building towards this. Chris Finch talked about it afterwards. We've seen him play great defense. He gets assigned to often the number 1 offensive player in the opposing team, but he exploded tonight offensively. And when you have a weapon like that, and you're the Phoenix Suns, you go, I don't know, I don't have an answer. What am I supposed to do? They just have too many things going on right now, and it's the positivity. I know they got to go back to Phoenix right now. Well, they'll welcome it. This was a huge opportunity tonight, and they cashed in with a demonstrative second-half performance again.
It kind of seemed like Jaden McDaniels, after that brief scuffle with Devin Booker at the end of the first half, it kind of seems like it clicked for him that the offense wasn't clicking for pretty much everybody else on the team except for Mike Conley, and he felt like he did something that he doesn't normally do, and he got aggressive with his shot selection.
Yeah.
He got aggressive taking in and on the inside, and not only 25 points, Rosie, but 41 minutes and
Unreal.
8 rebounds. And like you said, obviously he's tasked with guarding the likes of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and still had that offensive performance.
He's
that he had.
like a quiet assassin out there. I mean, this is what Jaden does when he's at his best. But this is the thing that Chris Finch has got a lot of tools in his toolbox right now. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was so good in the first game, also played 30 minutes. But again, you're going to have nights like this where nothing's falling for Edwards. Mike Conley, after going 1 for 12 in game 1, bounces back. I think he missed his first shot, then ends up going 7 for 13. You knew he was going to do that, and just they had Phoenix had an 8-point lead early on. But Minnesota, you could just feel it. You could feel it in the arena. I think the Phoenix Suns can feel it.
Yeah.
Frank Vogel, the head coach, got a technical foul. He was using and losing his timeouts quicker than you can imagine. He was left with nothing to fall back on, and that's the thing. They got a nice start. And unfortunately for them, Grayson Allen, who's far away the best 3-point shooter really in the league, suffered what looked like a more serious ankle injury tonight.
Yeah.
17 minutes into the game, and he's I'd be shocked if he came back with any productivity or came back at all for Friday night, because he was in a lot of pain while limping off. And there goes basically, for the most part, other than off the bench, Eric Gordon, there goes their 3-point shooter. That's it.
And Eric Gordon randomly turned back the clock for about 5 minutes there. I didn't even know he was still in the NBA for a second.
I thought he's been, how many teams has he been with?
A lot at this point.
Again, Phoenix had the Wolves number all season long. Going into the series, the trepidation about Wolves fans and thinking, man, they smoked them. They smoked them that last regular season game. It's been a complete flip of the script right now. And the Wolves have, again, doing what they do best. And I had the opportunity to be literally courtside tonight. And when you watch the intensity of that defense and how difficult it's for Phoenix to get the ball inside and to do anything, they got big names. They still got Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and a guy named Kevin Durant who's going to the Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter. The Wolves had an answer for everything.
And I thought a play that perfectly summed up Mike Conley's game today was him diving for the ball while the Wolves are they're up 13 with only a handful of minutes to go. But that's just the kind of guy Mike Conley is. He's a consummate professional. And he knows he's not the kind of guy that's going to ask for more shots, more minutes, more this or that. But he knows when he needs to step up, and he stepped up big today.
Well, he's got a big influence in that locker room, as we know. And he made his kind of pre-series speech to his teammates and talked about how important this is for him at this point of his career, and he doesn't know how many more chances he's going to have. And they talk about, Jim Peterson does a wonderful job, we know, on the broadcast, talked about the team unity before the game, before game 1, talked about throughout the entire organization. Yeah, we know there's this little ownership squabble going on, but that's not affecting the team at all. It's not affecting the management. It's not affecting the head coach, certainly not affecting the players, and certainly not affecting the fans. This place is lit. And I know what's going to be happening.
Justin Guard in the window here. Guardsy, hop on in here real quick.
He's got a bedtime.
He's looking at his clock. He's putting in extra work today. Guardsy, your thoughts on the Wolves game too?
There you go, Guardsy.
I was actually at the Twins game. It was a walk-off victory. Incredible game.
Timing was
everything. It was a little cold, but we walked them off. It was just a great atmosphere at Target Field tonight. It was great.
Way to break it down. That's right.
What have we talked about already? I don't want to steal anybody's
it doesn't matter. Just throw it out there. We talked about Jaden. We talked about
your heart, Justin Guard. I need to say I need to apologize to Jaden McDaniels, because recently I said after the end of the regular season, I don't know how you play the guy because he can't score. He's not guarding very well, and then unbelievable. Jaden.
Clearly, Jaden McDaniels a big listener.
Jaden McDaniels, he podcasts. I'm sure he podcasts. Jaden McDaniels, Mike Conley. Rudy was great tonight. It was, and the building was on fire. Yeah. And Rosen and I didn't get thrown out, so that was good. We were on the refs. Yeah, we were on them for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that Devin Booker crashed into you guys pretty early on in the game.
Well, here's the one problem I have with tonight. I had an opportunity to catch a loose ball. It was coming right to me.
Yeah.
I had both hands ready to go. And what happened, Rosie?
I jumped in front. I was going for the steal. And
I was ready for my kid to see me on TV with the ball, looking for dad.
I was concerned you weren't paying attention.
I had
didn't
both
know.
hands up. It was like two hands.
I didn't have time for that.
Perfect fundamentals. I was ready to catch it.
You know, it's like I've spent my entire life trying to get a foul ball at a baseball game. Never happened, right?
Yeah.
Come to a Timberwolves basketball game. Of course, they wouldn't let us keep the basketball.
No.
It's unlike baseball,
Throw it
but
back.
I apologize for
That's all right.
for that.
I'm sure I'll never sit courtside again in my life. So that was the only time.
It was a great time.
It was great. Great
was.
win, great victory. They just wear these teams down.
They do.
And I'm sure Rosen talked about the defense. It's just ridiculous. There's no room out there.
The intensity.
Yeah, Rudy back there, Jaden doing his thing. It was tremendous, tremendous. So
one last question, Justin Gard, because I know you put in a long day of work. Wolves in 4? Question mark.
I'm not going to do that. I was not part of the change. I mean, it would be good because I think Denver's going in 4, so we need to kind of match up with them if they're going to advance. But I mean, it'd be nice to just get greedy now. Just get greedy and go get game 3. Don't give them any hope. Grayson Allen being out is a big deal for them.
Yep.
Like I don't think Eric Gordon's beating us. Like I like Eric Gordon, but
we were just saying I didn't even know he was still in the league.
He kind of is, barely. But so Grayson Allen being injured is a big. He killed us in the regular season. You worry about the big 3, and then there's Grayson. So. No, it was great. It was great. Thought the in-arena host was fantastic tonight, per usual.
I think he's a little overrated.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't as good as game 1, but the building, we brought it up for him. I thought we brought it up for him. How long are you going? Because I want to try to drive home. So
you can be able to listen to it on the way home.
Another 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
All right, cool.
Because the party don't stop. Ain't no party like the Timberwolves party. The Timberwolves party don't stop.
Justin Gard, you know that. Come on now.
Wind up, Max. He's on his roll, man.
By the way, you can shoot us any questions, comments, concerns. Text us at 64686. Call us 1-800-320-5326. Send us a talkback on the free iHeartRadio app. Give us your best 30 seconds. I promise we're not going to judge you for only lasting 30 seconds. Shoot us an email, booth@kfan.com. We'll be back after a short commercial break. Max Fuller, Mark Rosen, Angie, Anna, MC, John B, Zacho, Garzi, Nick. Everybody's in here. We're all partying, celebrating a Timberwolves win as they take on the Phoenix Suns once again on Friday, Game 3 in Phoenix. But tonight, a 105-93 win. We'll be back with more Wolves Fanline after this on the Fan.
You got to listen to Timberwolves playoff basketball live. And on a breakaway, a two-handed slam. This is the audio home for Timberwolves basketball. iHeartRadio and FM 100.3 KFAN, Minnesota's home for sports.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
With our weather extremes here in Minnesota, durable windows aren't a nice to have. They're a must-have. It's Paul Allen. Renewal by Anderson's acclaimed windows are strong, energy efficient, low maintenance, and beautiful. And Renewal by Anderson's design consultants understand your home's needs because many of them have lived here their entire lives. They don't just sell you windows and doors. They provide solutions that can help keep your home comfortable for many years. During Renewal by Anderson's triple savings event, buy 4 or more units and get $400 off every window and $850 off every patio and entry door. And ask about their affordable payment options. Call by April 30th, 651-240-1010. 651-240-1010. That's 651-240-1010. Visit renewalbyanderson.com for additional details.
He loves to sniff the neighborhood dogs a little too closely. On more than one occasion, you've seen him roll around in the mud. He's been known to drool a bit more than normal, especially when he's excited. And you heard him cleaning himself less than an hour ago. Yet, here you are letting him lick your face for a really, really, really long time. We get it. You love him unconditionally. That's why Pets Best has customizable, affordable pet insurance plans so you can protect the love of your life. Get peace of mind in a quote today at petsbest.com.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that for Bree's car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Bree's car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face.
Get the hook on savings with the Shields Fishing Sale event now through April 28th. In-store and online. Peer into the depths with electronics from Garmin and Lowrance. Protect yourself from the sun with clothing from Hook and Sims. And rig your boat with a trolling motor from Minn Kota. Our passionate Shields fishing experts are ready to prepare you for your next fishing adventure. Buy with confidence, knowing you have everything you need for that next hook set at Shields and Shields.com.
Attention Twin Cities contractors, it's Corey Coe for Catalyst Supply. Catalyst Supply can take your company to the next level. Catalyst Supply is a service-based lumberyard made up of former contractors and installers that have decided to support others by helping them execute their windows, deck, and metal roofing projects from start to finish. All the solutions, all the supplies, all in one place. Tell them Corey Cove sent you, and they're going to hook you up on your first project. CatalystSupplyCo.com. That's CatalystSupplyCo.com.
Draft coverage this week on The Fan is presented by Pep's Draft House Pizza.
With just a few minutes to go in the fourth quarter, all of the Twin Cities could hear something that sounded like hope, could hear something that sounded like belief, could hear something that sounded like Wolves in 4, Wolves in 4, Wolves in 4. And that's how everybody in the Twin Cities is feeling after the Wolves secure a win against the Phoenix Suns, 105-93 to take a 2-0 lead in the opening round of the Western Conference playoffs. This is Wolves Fanline, a.k.a. Howlin' with the homies, a.k.a. a million other things, but I won't bore you with that because we got the Sultan of Smug, TC Head Cheese himself, Dave Sinekin on the line, and he's just chomping at the bit to talk about the game. Cinny, what's good, my brother?
What's up, boys? I like howling with the homies. That's
pretty nice, right?
Power. I like that. Man, sounds like you guys are having a party downtown. It's much more sedate out here in the suburbs, but holy cow, what a game. I mean, man, you talked about it. McDaniels and Conley and Rudy. I mean, when you can take down a team like Phoenix when Cat and Ant and Nas are just all off offensively and other guys are ready to step up, that's so encouraging. And what I couldn't stop thinking about watching this game, talking NBA all season long with Double T, the one comment he's made consistently about Phoenix is, when they built this team with the three superstars, they don't have a prototypical point guard to calm them down, to run the show, which is really unusual. They really showed tonight. I mean, the stat of the night, 31-2 points off turnovers, in large part because the defense was so swarming, and they just don't have a point guard to settle him down. I thought that was really jarring, and it really showed tonight how that team is constructed, maybe not quite the way a playoff team should be put together. I can't say enough about this team tonight, and I mean, you could feel the energy just coming off the screen watching from home. So encouraged. How do you back up a great performance in game one? Can they do it again a second night? And, man, early on, the second chance points Phoenix was getting, Nurkic tapping it back for second chance. Here comes the three. Booker finding his groove. I just think this team showed a whole lot tonight to back up game one with the performance in the second half like they did. And as I said, on a night when their two biggest stars didn't have it, it just shows you this team has staying power. They might be playing here for a few more weeks.
But Cindy, the context of what Phoenix did to the Wolves during the regular season, finishing it with that regular season win here in dominating fashion, left a lot of Wolves fans kind of wondering, God, how can they pull it together against this team? They don't match up well with them on paper. They can't, they looked out of sorts that Sunday afternoon. Were they playing possum that day, or was it just a matter of knowing full well they had a full week for Anthony Edwards and others to rest their legs, to kind of work on a real game plan, to practice for the first time in such a long time? But how do you account for this drastic turnaround in the domination Minnesota's had over a team that dominated them during the regular season?
Yeah, Rosie, I hope they weren't playing possum because it cost them a chance at home court against the Nuggets in the next round by losing that game last week.
Right.
It might have almost been a blessing in disguise, the way they got beat that final day with, all the turnovers, the sloppiness, in such a big spot to come up so small. I think it was a real gut check. And then they had, 3-4 practices that week, which you never get. I know the Milwaukee Bucks hadn't had more than one practice since Doc Rivers became coach before this playoff season started. So I really do think it means a lot to get a chance to get on the court for a few days before the playoffs start. And getting that slap in the face with all those turnovers and as ugly as that game was, I think it got their attention. And I think Mike Conley got their attention. And these guys are professional with, the veterans like Conley and Gobert and Kyle Anderson to know that, all right, this is a new season. What they did against us 3 times means absolutely nothing. We've got advantages here. Yeah, they got a few Hall of Fame shooters, but we got, 3 or 4 big-time defenders. And I don't know. It's like watching a great defensive football team. When your team defends well, it's just such a pleasure to watch. And I don't know. That's the calling card for this team. And as you guys know, it's not just Rudy and McDaniels. It's everybody buying in. Cat, Conley. They were all so good defensively tonight. And I just find that style of basketball so fun to watch.
You mentioned it, Davey, when we have a texter texting in, Spencer from Albert Lee. He said, why did Ant disappear in the first half? And you mentioned it, the Timberwolves' biggest stars didn't really have it offensively tonight, but everybody else picked up the slack. I mean, my answer to that, I'd have to say it's Karl Anthony Towns' foul trouble. I thought Karl Anthony Towns really helped unlock Ant's game against the Phoenix Suns in game 1 because they were doubling Cat every single time that he posted up, and Ant was able to work off ball a lot more than he was today, where he's obviously with no Cat, and that burden falls on Ant, and I felt like he couldn't really get off ball, the motions off ball that he wanted. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, 5 games against Phoenix, and Ant had one really strong game. I mean, they are frustrating him, defending him well, throwing bodies at him. I thought Ant, despite not having the offensive game, I thought he did everything else really well. Like, he made really good decisions for the most part. He wasn't turning the ball over that much. He was rebounding. He was finding guys. I just think that's a point of maturation in Ant's game that he's not going to sulk and go into his bag when things aren't working well, man. He found other things to do well. So, again, it just shows, I think, the depth of this team, and guys step up. When they see Ant doesn't have it, Cat doesn't have it, here comes Conley and McDaniels to take care of business. It's just, like I say, I think for all fans, it gives you hope, no matter who the opponent is, that they got guys ready to step up when somebody else isn't feeling it.
Yeah, Phoenix made it priority number 1. In the first half, you could see it. They were doubling up on Anthony, making someone else, beat them. And Ant did have 8 assists, which led the team. So, I mean, you're right. The point well taken that his maturity showed in this game in particular because he wasn't forcing things. And it's something that Chris Finch talked about afterwards. That's something maybe we wouldn't have seen from Anthony Edwards earlier. But you want to stop one aspect of his game, well, he can still beat you a lot of other ways. And that's why he's the superstar, the emerging superstar that he is.
That's what I did love about Ant tonight. Like, he wasn't forcing his shot when he wasn't making it, and he was just facilitating. He was like playing the facilitator role tonight, and that, when he's not making the shot, sometimes he forces it and it doesn't work out for him. So I was happy to see his maturity in that way.
Whose voice are we hearing
tonight.
there, Matt?
That is Angie, one half of the Boy Links podcast, which you can listen to on the free iHeartRadio app, by the way. We got Angie and Anna in the house tonight. And as you guys mentioned, Anthony Edwards still finished with 8 assists. So he was still out there diamond left and right. Davey, I know you got a million things to do, so I won't hold you for too long.
You got a Packers draft to worry about.
You got the Packers to worry about. You got your Milwaukee Bucks to worry about. They look like they're in trouble after tonight. But we got a texter texting in. What is your biggest concern at this point for this series?
For Cindy? Yeah, go ahead.
For Cindy.
Yep.
Biggest concern? I don't know. I think it's just, you can't have too many games like this where your top 2 guys are not, performing well offensively. You can get away with it at home. I don't think a game like that's going to play so well in Phoenix if both those guys aren't back being more like themselves. I don't have a ton of concerns about the Phoenix Suns. I mean, they've never come back from 0-2 in a series. And it's like a lot of, 20 times. They're like 0-20 when they fall down 0-2. So, look, they stay healthy. That's probably my biggest concern. If this team is whole, I give them a really good chance. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but we know they match up well with Denver. You just don't want to see anybody go down. I think if this team can be whole in 10 or 2 weeks, whatever it might be for the next round, I give the Wolves a very good chance to put a scare into the Nuggets.
Rosie, how about you? What's your biggest concern?
Well,
for this series?
I think health as well. I mean, right now they didn't need slow-mo tonight. He has that hip pointer, and he's not. I think he's probably kind of day-to-day, and he very well could play Friday night if necessary.
Right.
But I agree. I think right now they just want to put the pedal down. You got a team down like Phoenix, and you don't want to let them off the mat. I mean, I don't expect them necessarily to sweep them, but I don't think it's going to go more than 5. But and Chris Finch has mentioned a bunch of times, we like going on the road. We've seen this team play really well on the road, and I just think they have to kind of survive, if that's the right word. They've had off the slow starts. First half hasn't been necessarily their best basketball. They just don't want to get smacked in the mouth too much early on in that game on Friday night. Hang around, and then the third quarter seems to be the turnaround point for this team. And I think right now they're in the heads of the Phoenix Suns. They don't have an answer right now. And without Grayson Allen, who looked like he was really hurting with that sprained ankle this time, much more so than the first game, I don't think they don't have someone who's going to be able to come out and light them up 3 points on a consistent basis. And as you mentioned, Cindy, they don't have a true point guard. So I mean, they have Kevin Durant, they have Bradley Beal, and they have Devin Booker. That's not going to carry him through the rest of this series.
It's big 3 or go home for Phoenix. If those 3 guys aren't having gigantic nights, they're not going to beat this Timberwolves team.
Nope.
Second game in a row, they were held under 100 points.
Unbelievable.
I believe Dan Barrero, who was sitting next to me in the pretty people seats watching the game, I believe he said that the Suns only there was only 5 games in the regular season that they scored.
Under 100?
Less than 100 points. And the Wolves have already done it twice in this playoff series and then once in the regular season as well.
That's their calling card. Again, defense is going to carry them for as far as this team can go. It's going to be about their defense. So that even when guys aren't having great shooting nights, they don't let up. It's unbelievable how great they're playing defensively.
Cindy, I know I'm going to let you go to bed here and worry about your Milwaukee Bucks. Any final thoughts about the game ahead of Game 3?
Try to get a split. That's all you got to do. I think Game 3 is going to be tricky, but if they fall short in Game 3, I give them a good chance to get that split. I'm just excited that we're halfway to the first Wolves series victory since probably before you reach puberty. I think it's a long time coming, my friend, so let's enjoy it.
It was great to see Wally Zerbiak in the house tonight, and the Wolves are trying to do more and more of that, and bringing some of the alumni back, and he got a huge ovation, and he was with his daughter, had a chance to talk to him before the game a little bit. I think he did the broadcast for the Knicks last night. He was at that game, but Wally looks like he's still go out and hit those corner jump shots. He looks like he's ready to go. But it's great to have those guys back. I know there's one guy they'd love to have back, but I don't think that's necessarily going to happen.
Yeah, not so Glenn Taylor's out of the building, probably not. But how awesome would that? Unless they're saving it for like the finals or something, because the crowd is just going to go nuts.
Especially against the Celtics.
Yeah!
Let's go!
Tell them, Rosie.
How apropos would that be? Yeah.
Appreciate you joining us, Cindy.
Thanks, Cindy.
All right, boys. See ya.
Dave Sinekin, you can catch him in the zone Saturdays on the Fan, 8 to 10 a.m. We let Cindy go, but we let some other callers back in because this is the People's Show, and it's a party in the Twin Cities after the Wolves take another win against the Phoenix Suns. We got John in Lakeville that wants to howl with the homies. What's good, John?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was watching today's game, and, first of all, the depth of the Timberwolves provide enormous problems for Phoenix Suns. The fresh defensive players that come out time after time. You don't even have to be on your offense. We saw the Big Two struggle. Mm-hmm. That said, Karl Anthony Towns, 8 points in a row, was the dagger of what happened to the Phoenix Suns, because you could see their body language drop, their everything is like, oh no, now he's going. I mean, McDaniels had a great game. Conley had a great game. We saw a lot of the other guys can show up, and that just demoralized, I think, the Phoenix Suns, and Durant wasn't on. So I think the Timberwolves' depth is a huge thing here. And when Anthony Towns can just turn his offense on, I think they're great. I'll hang up and listen and hear your thoughts.
Yeah, Cat had a hit set on the bench from a lot. He got picked up that third foul pretty early, and you have to sit him down at that point.
The refs got a deserved refs you suck chant. A couple of those were on Karl, but at least one of them was a bogus call.
We see that a lot. Pretty much every game you watch in the playoffs, there's going to be, as we saw last night, a lot of controversial calls that the NBA's had to come back and say, "Oops, our bad." But when Towns is almost a forgotten man on the court. He's on the bench, and all of a sudden he comes back and he starts hitting those shots. Phoenix is going, oh, I forgot about that guy. Oh, yeah, now we got to deal with the big meow.
It completely changed the second half as soon as he stepped onto the court.
Yeah.
I mean, he was getting the rebounds. He was hitting shots. Anna, you agree, right?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that I feel like Cat really was the catalyst for the Wolves in the whole third quarter and then just sent us into the fourth in, like, the best possible position. And I think that Cat, he had a couple turnovers that I was just like, Cat.
Vintage Cat.
Vintage Cat for sure. But I really feel like that's kind of that take the good with the bad or take the bad with the good. And he crushed. I was obsessed.
Yeah, no, I think, like I said before, I think he's kind of the key to just activating this team against the Phoenix Suns because he just helps that spacing offensively so much. And they ask a lot of him defensively. I know we don't think of Karl Anthony Towns as a lockdown defender or anything like that, but he really in this Phoenix series, he's one of the anchors of that defense in a sense.
Before I take off, I think a lot of it in what you said is so true, but I think a lot of it getting back to the maturity of this team. Don't build like it took Denver a while to build a championship type team. Tim Connolly, by the way, who's the GM here, had a lot to do with that. And you can see this team as they said in one of my favorite movies, Swingers. All grown up. I mean, the Timberwolves are all grown up right now. And you can feel it, even the younger guys. And, the Mike Conleys and Rudy Goberts who've been through this before, but it still have not got to the promised land, are going, this is our opportunity. It's not our last opportunity, we hope, but they can feel it. They can sense it, and I don't think there's anybody in their way right now that they feel they can't compete with at the highest level.
Yeah, you speak to the maturity. I mean, in the years past, this Timberwolves team might have just shot themselves out of the game, played hero ball, gotten demoralized after that first half because it was a touch and go first half.
Phoenix
it was back and forth.
Yeah.
Phoenix was getting sent to the free throw line pretty much every time they had the ball.
The end of the second quarter was touch and go.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
It was looking like it was going south real quick, but again, we got guys like Mike Conley, even Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards. This team has been there and done that before.
All right, I got to get ready for the power trip tomorrow morning. Oh, boy.
Nice
meeting you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of the series. And, Max, it's always good working with you.
Of course, Rosie. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Mark Rosen, the veteran in the room, much like Mike Conley was for the Minnesota Timberwolves. 18 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. Huge bounce-back game for Mike Conley and a huge win for your Minnesota Timberwolves, 105-93. They take a 2-0 series lead on the Phoenix Suns. We got Corey in Mendota Heights and Mike from St. Cloud and Brandon from River Falls. Hang on just a little bit. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back with Timberwolves Fanline, a.k.a. Howlin' with the homies on the Fan.
You got to listen to Timberwolves playoff basketball live.
And on the break, the lead, two-hand slam! Watch me elevate!
This is the audio home for Timberwolves basketball. iHeartRadio and FM 100.3 KFAM. Minnesota's home for sports.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey for Livia Weight Control Centers. Now is the time to get a jump on summer. You could lose up to 20 pounds or more in your first 8 weeks the Livia way. When you join Livia, you're going to receive a personalized and doctor-recommended program tailored to your unique needs, goals, and lifestyle. Livia's amazing team of registered dietitians and nutritionists are going to guide you every step of the way. Join Livia today. You'll get your first 8 weeks for free. I started working with Livia more than 10 years ago. I lost more than 50 pounds, and I've kept it off and lost way more since then. As a brand ambassador, I truly appreciated that one-on-one support. That was the game changer for me, and I believe it will be the game changer for you. Join Livia today. Get your first 8 weeks for free. Visit Livia.com. That's Livea. Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Livia is now offering GLP-1 medications. Trust in the method that has worked for so many and see accelerated results by summer. Visit Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Start your weight loss journey now and get a jump on summer the Livia way.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line.
Does it have to be family?
It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plan starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Your friends at Casey's believe you can't ever get enough of a good thing, and that's why their extra special pizza special continues. You buy 1 large single topping pizza and get another 50% off with the promo code BOGO. It's available on their thin or original crust. You can order online or in the app, and you can get a medium fountain drink for just 49 cents when you pair it with one of Casey's new delicious sandwiches like the spicy chicken or the quarter pounder Angus cheeseburger. Terrific deals on special meals and only at Casey's.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line.
Does it have to be family?
It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plan starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
And turns in the world of pro wrestling.
And we obviously can't wait to hear from you, the Federation. Without you guys, none of this is possible. Listen to Wrestling with Freddie on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to help put $1,000 in your hand. Listen weekdays for your shot to win.
It's Lil B for my guys at BigDeck.com. Getting a tax refund? Thinking about spending it on a vacation? Yeah, that'll give you a couple days of fun, but how about a lifetime of fun when you spend that money on a brand new Big Deck? For my guys at BigDeck.com. That's BigDeck.com.
Timberwolves playoff basketball and the Minnesota Vikings NFL Draft. What a time to be alive. Listen live all week to Minnesota's audio home for sports. iHeartRadio and KFAN, The Fan.
It's a party at the Target Center, a celebration in the Twin Cities, and we're going to have a blast for the rest of this broadcast. I didn't even mean for that to rhyme. I'm an amateur rapper over here, but I'm not the real thing. I'm not a real MC like MC John B. John Barry, Timberwolves in-arena hype man, joining me for the final segment of Fanline. How you feeling after
Max,
that game,
what's going on,
dog?
man? My voice is gone. I need this week off before whatever home game we have
right,
next.
Yeah. Who knows what it's going to be?
Who knows what it's going to be? So I'm excited. The fans were just crazy tonight.
Man.
They brought it again in game 2. It's like, I'm so proud to be in that arena and help those fans usher in a win. That was amazing.
I don't know if you're like me because we're lifelong Timberwolves fans, but at several points during the game, I just had to look up into the stands
Absolutely.
and just see all the towels wave and just soak it all. How cool of a moment that was.
So I had a decibel reader as well, too, because I wanted to check out how loud we could get. At some point, I read it at 111. It hit 111 in Target Center. Yes. Right in the first quarter and at the end of the fourth quarter is at 111. Howland.
Eardrum bursting
Yes.
sound here at the Target Center. And your eardrums might have burst because I'm talking so dang loud. I'm hype. I'm ready to party after the Timberwolves take a 105-93 win against the Phoenix Suns. This is Wolves Fanline, a.k.a. Howlin' with the homies. And you know this is a show of the people, so let's go to the people. Brandon in River Falls, you're Howlin' with the homies. What's good, brother?
Hey, what's going on? I got to give a quick little hooty-hoo.
Hooty-hoo.
I want to give a real quick shout out as well to Chris Hockey for the talking about men's mental health. I think it's amazing. I love that, Chris. You're amazing. My question for you guys is, it seems like for a really long time, the NBA has started to mock what the NHL is, where home court or home field doesn't really matter that much. This year seems entirely different. Indiana won tonight. I think they were the first road team to win a game.
That's correct.
How do the Wolves avoid that trap of the energy that Phoenix is going to be bringing for games 3 and 4? This team did what they were supposed to. But now you got, a Hall of Famer, 2, all-stars. I know Grayson Allen's hurt, but these guys can still ball. How do you avoid falling into that trap of getting sucked into the energy the way I think the Suns did in the second half of each game 1 and game 2?
I couldn't agree more, but the Wolves they've been a solid road team all season. They're 26-15 on the road. And, if this was the Timberwolves of old, I might be a little bit more worried about that, a little bit more worried about the lights being bright or the moment being too big. But we've seen this Timberwolves team time and time again throughout the regular season, and especially tonight when there was some problems going on in the first half. They came back, they fought back. This is a mature team. This is a cohesive team. I don't expect a whole lot of difference between tonight and Friday night in Phoenix.
Defense travels really well. Wherever you go, Phoenix, Denver, it doesn't matter. That defense is going to carry over to game 3 and game 4 and should help them at least get a split. I just want a split. I don't want to be super greedy and go for I'll take a split. Absolutely.
But Wolves in 4.
Wolves in
4. Yes, sir. And you mentioned the defense. One key thing that was a huge problem for the Timberwolves in their regular season matchup with the Suns was the turnovers.
Yeah.
Tonight, Wolves limited their turnovers to 13, and the Suns had 19 turnovers. And we've been so focused here in the Twin Cities about the Wolves' turnovers. The Suns are one of the worst teams in the NBA down there.
How many turnovers do they have tonight?
19 turnovers tonight.
See? Yeah, that's the Wolves. If they keep their turnovers low and turn on the other team, that is lights out. That is what you have to do to win these games, especially in the playoffs.
Most of those games that the Wolves were out of in the regular season, or even early on against the Suns, it's themselves shooting themselves in the foot.
Absolutely.
It's not a team destroying
100%.
us, dismantling us, or anything. We've very rarely seen that this season. It's the Wolves shooting themselves, and they've really limited their mistakes throughout the first 2 games of this playoff series. We got a couple more callers on the line. Corey in Mendota Heights. You're Howlin' with the homies. What's good?
Maxx, how you doing?
Man, I'm feeling good, brother. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to take my shirt off and wave it around my head like a helicopter, like P.D. Pablo used to say.
I will say Maxx is as his high right now is as high as his fro. He's just on another level right now. It's amazing.
I can tell. Well, you can take that T-shirt I threw you tonight, and you can wave that around.
Oh, that was you, man. Thanks. Appreciate that, dog.
That's right. Hey, one of the nicest guys on radio. Love your fresh takes. All the veterans that are around you, like Rosie, he's a great mentor. Keep running with them and do your own thing. It's been awesome to hear you on the radio. Hey, think about it now. Everything's fun. Everything's, this is a great time. A-Rod and Lori, they wore white tonight, right? Rosie, Kilborn, they wore white tonight. Everyone's wearing white, right? But Glenn and Becky Taylor not wearing white. We got to get them in white, right? If it's a white house. Steve Ballmer from the Clippers, Mark Cuban, they'd be wearing white, right? So just to stir the pot a little bit. But anyways,
I'm gonna dump the pot out, brother. I'm not here to talk about Glenn Taylor tonight. I'm here to talk about this magnificent Timberwolves win. I appreciate you calling, though, Corey. Oh, well, it seems like Corey must have hung up. Corey. Yeah, he really wanted to talk Glenn Taylor, but I just want to talk the Minnesota Timberwolves, a 105-93 win against the Phoenix Suns. We got Mike in St. Cloud howling with the homies. What's good, Mike?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Black and beautiful last time I checked, but I haven't looked in a mirror in a while, so I might just be black. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just driving home from the Target Center right now.
Man,
and,
all the way to St. Cloud. Wow. Okay.
That's real love
that's
right
respect
there,
right
Mike.
there.
I just couple of shout outs, man. The third quarter touch to the defense. About halfway through the third quarter, man, without a point guard and just the on-ball defenders that we have, I mean, the Phoenix Suns are completely just like out of ideas. I mean, they truly just didn't know what to do next. And then specifically Ant, there's a possession where he picked up Beal in the backcourt, almost turned it into an 8-second, got a ticky-tacky foul at the end of it. But it's just, I mean, what a treat to watch this kid on a night where, he's not having his best game, but that type of effort. I mean, show me a superstar in the NBA that defends like that, and it's just an absolute joy. It's worth this drive from St. Cloud, as many times as I do it. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We appreciate the call, Mike. Enjoy your drive. Stay safe driving home. And I couldn't agree more. Anthony Edwards, he just finds different ways to impact the game. Like we said before, didn't have the best night shooting, scored 15 points, was one of 6 Timberwolves that scored in double digits, and he ended up turning it on a little bit there towards the back half of the game, but still had 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and just played phenomenal defense. As we've discussed before, Anthony Edwards, he's getting a healthy dose of Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, some of the best offensive players that the NBA has to offer, and he handles it with a plum, and he gets the crowd hype. I mean, not even scoring, not with a flashy dunk, just lockdown defense, and everyone was off their feet on that exact play that he was talking about.
And he went to the free throw line. Sometimes he will settle for those threes or those mid-range jumpers and pull up, but he went to the free throw line 8 times tonight. And so the maturity is setting in for Ant. He wants to win, so he's going to affect the game in any part he can, whether it's on defense, locking down Bradley Beal, or even Devin Booker as well, to pass into his teammates. You said, how many assists did he have? He had 8 assists tonight. He's going to affect the game in any way he can. If it's not scoring, it's going to be everywhere else, and he will.
You mentioned getting to the free throw line. Early on, it was like towards the end half of that second quarter, almost every offensive possession the Phoenix Suns had, the Wolves were sending them to the foul line, and it the free throws got the Suns back into the game, honestly.
Absolutely.
After that hot start from the Timberwolves 8-0 run to start off the game, it kind of seemed like, well, we picked up where we left off. We're off to the races again. Everybody can go home early tonight, but that wasn't quite the case. But by the end of the game, the Wolves ended up being 26 of 30 from the free throw line compared to Phoenix's 15 of 19.
And that started in the third quarter with Carl. Carl really sparked that, getting to the free throw line. He made a ridiculous and one bucket that got the crowd hype again. Ant got to the free throw line, like I said, 8 times. Like, the free throw line, it really helped. And Rudy making his free throws. When Rudy makes his free throws, the crowd gets into it. The crowd, you hear that Rudy chant. And so when Rudy makes his free throws, everybody is like collectively on board. Everybody gets it. So, yes, free throw line, go all the time.
Text line, texter texted in. This is a question specifically for you.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll take this question.
Which crowd energy was better, Saturdays or tonight's?
Oh, man. It's different. Saturdays was a game 1 energy, a Saturday afternoon. This was a Tuesday night. It's a school night a little bit too.
Right.
They're different, not in better ways, but they're different. I loved Saturday's energy. I loved Tuesday's energy. I loved Saturdays just a little bit more. I liked Tuesdays as well. Like, Tuesday was hyped. It was so hyped.
It was so
Especially when you're going to go up 2-0, and people brought it tonight. So
yeah, and for a while, I mean, towards that back half of the second quarter, there wasn't a whole lot to cheer about for the crowd.
But then Red Panda came out.
Oh my God!
Everybody's gonna get hyped for Red Panda.
Dude, Red Panda and the chair guy. I almost have a heart attack every single time that they're out there. I'm so concerned that something's gonna go wrong, specifically with the chair guy.
Those are the 2 greatest halftime performers of all time.
Oh yeah, they're the goats.
Red Panda 1. The Amazing Slottic too. Those are my 2 goats.
But it's also like, you're old, brother. We get it. Like, he could just come on the mic and be like, listen, I can stack about 20 chairs and climb them. And I would be like, cool, I believe you. You don't got to do it. Like, I'm screaming at him like I'm his mom when he's out there. I'm like, get down. You don't have to do this.
That man lives for that moment when he's on the top of those chairs. He lives for it. And I talk to him every time he comes in, and he's just like, John, I just love doing this. This is amazing. Man. He's great. He's so great.
He's great, but I'm still concerned every single time that he's
a professional. He does this all the time. He loves it.
Let's get back to the Wolves. Let's kind of go quarter by quarter because we end up focusing a lot on this second half and how awesome it was, specifically the third and fourth quarter. But early on, it kind of just seemed like the Wolves – I mean, they started off with an 8-0 run.
They came out swinging.
Yeah, they caused a bunch of turnovers. Were just disrupting Phoenix's pass lane. Phoenix looked they had no answers for the Wolves early on, but then the Wolves Karl Anthony Towns got into his foul trouble. They kept sending Phoenix to the free throw line, and I thought that the same kind of bugs that plagued them during the regular season were like guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, guys like Jaden McDaniels, initially at least, weren't hitting and capitalizing on those wide open shots that they're going to get because the Suns are focusing so hard on Anthony Edwards.
Nas missed a couple of shots in that second quarter as well, too, when he came off the bench. And you saw a little bit of that offense start to stall. The ball gets sticky, and it doesn't move around.
Started to turn into hero ball, ISO ball a little bit.
And then at the end of that second quarter, they started to move the ball. They started to create some havoc, create some turnovers, and they start to get that climb back. So when you're down one and your two best players aren't having the greatest of games, you're doing okay. You're just fine. You weathered that storm. And you're like, okay, we come back second half, let's do this. And that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what they did. We got Sean from Maple Grove on the line. Sean, you're howling with the homies, Max Fuller and John Barry.
What's good? With Johnny B. Good and Mad Max. How you guys doing?
What's up?
Hey, what's up, Sean? You sound like you're having even more fun than we are.
Where are you at, Sean? Where are you?
I have watched you guys on TV listening to me. I mean, this is a trip. I'm tripping. I'm a key to my hand.
What do you want to talk about, Sean, from Maple Grove?
I'm already thinking second round. What are we gonna do with the Thunder and the Wolves? Both teams, their fans have to stand until the first bucket and all that. And you got Shea Alexander-Walker going up against his brother, and you've got Chet Holmgren coming back home. It'd be crazy.
You sound like you're having a good time tonight, but it would be Denver who we face in round two. So
we won't play OKC unless we make it to the Western Conference Finals, and they make it to the Western Conference.
But I appreciate you looking out that far,
right?
Too.
You're thinking way far. You're on some Miss Cleo status right now. Yes. You're seeing the future, but we appreciate you, Sean. Have a good night. Be safe, my brother. Please be safe. Sean is having a lot of fun right now.
He should be.
Hey, we all are.
We're up 2-0.
It's a celebration.
Yes.
We're up 2-0, and we looked it up during the break. Teams that take a 2-0 series lead in the NBA playoffs win 93% of the time. So I know some of you are out there. You got the Minnesota sports fan syndrome going on, waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for something bad to happen. Oh, don't get too hype. Act like you've been there before. Well, first of all, I ain't an actor and I ain't been there before. So we're going to have fun.
We'll have some
all along the way. But just think about it, 93% of the time. Not trying to write off the Phoenix Suns, but we can look a little bit into the future and think about that Denver Nuggets matchup.
I think Rosie said it best, though. Go get greedy. Go get game 3 and put their foot on their throat and end their season in Phoenix on Friday. Just do it. And that way we don't have to talk about, what happens if they win game 4? We got to come back to Phoenix for game 6.
Right.
No, end their season on Friday.
Yeah, don't give the Stephen A. Smiths of the world or anything to debate. All we want to hear about.
I want to turn into Dave Sinekin and Trent Tucker Saturday morning at 8 a.m. talking about a 3-0 series lead. That's what I want to hear.
That's all I want in life. Speaking of people who had great games today that we haven't really touched on, Rudy Gobert.
Yes, absolutely.
He was killing them early. They have no answer for Rudy Gobert. There's no equivalent to Rudy Gobert on the Phoenix Suns roster.
There's no equivalent to him on the defensive roster as well. Like, Rudy will guard everybody, and he literally took it upon himself to guard everybody on switches. Like, they would switch out to Rudy. He would guard Kevin Durant. He would guard Devin Booker. He would guard Bradley Beal. Rudy if I have said it once, I've said it. He is the defensive player of the year tonight. He
100%.
again showed why. He literally can guard anybody. They can't get around Rudy, no matter what.
On the day that it was released that he was voted the most overrated player in the NBA by his peers.
Get that.
It makes no
sense.
And I get it. I wasn't a true Rudy appreciator while he was with the Jazz. I didn't really fully understand what he brings to a team until he came to the Minnesota Timberwolves. But I mean, he's going to be a 4-time defensive player of the year. He's one of the best players to ever come from France. I mean, Victor Wembanyama is going to steal that from him in a couple of years, probably. But
Wemby might have that in a few years.
He's one of the best international players of all time, and he showed tonight early on why he can make an impact on a team. 18 points, 9 rebounds. I mean, without Rudy Gobert, this team would be nowhere near as successful as they are.
Absolutely not. Rudy's just consistency throughout Games 1 and 2 has really elevated. And you say he's got all these perimeter defenders around him. Yes, and he's elevated them because of what he can do on those switches and in the back end as well.
His defense it's pretty much a rising tide, raises all ships or whatever. Because Karl Anthony Towns' defense has improved.
Everybody's defense.
Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, everybody's defense has improved. And you mentioned it. He's out there on the perimeter guarding guys like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Yes.
See, watching his feet shuffle, it's kind of like when you see your friend you didn't know could dance is on the dance floor. You're like, dang, I didn't know you could get down like that, Rudy.
You out there 25 feet away guarding Kevin Durant? Yes.
Like, dang.
And they can't get he's 7'3". Like, that is hard to get around.
Yeah.
7'3" guy when you got 9 other people on the floor as well, too. You're not getting around. I'm sorry, you're just not.
You're not. This Timberwolves team, they're just too big. They're too strong. We have too many good defenders. As soon as somebody like Jaden McDaniels or Anthony Edwards steps on the floor and you think you got a break, well, here comes Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
Yep.
Here comes Naz Reid to give you hell on the offensive end. He didn't have his best game tonight. Only 5 points, 2 rebounds. But we didn't need
Nas tonight.
We didn't need it.
No.
Whenever somebody has a bad game, somebody else steps up. We mentioned Mike Conley didn't have the greatest game last game. Bounced back, 18 points, 4 assists. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I thought the play that really just summed up Mike Conley's game was him diving on the floor. This is a nearly 40-year-old man. The Wolves are up by 15 points in the fourth. Right? Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh, Mike, come on now.
Dang, don't be doing all that. There's still a lot more games to go, bro.
And that speaks to the depth of this team. This team can run 9, and it's better than the Suns 3. And that's what's going to win them this series, whether it be 4 or 5, like Rosie said.
The Suns, it's their big 3 or go home. And the Wolves have multiple people that can step up and hit home runs. The Suns just don't have the depth to hang out with the Wolves. I think statistically they have the worst bench in all of the NBA. And the Wolves, I mean,
I can see that.
Like we said it last game, but Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid, these guys are some of the best non-starters in all of the NBA.
Naz Reid's going to win 6th Man of the Year.
100%.
Yes.
He should.
He absolutely should. Malik Monk has been out for a month and a half. I don't remember. Bobby Portis can't hold a candle to Naz Reid.
No, not even close.
Miss me with Bobby Portis. I mean, come on now. Are we really serious about Bobby Portis?
And quickly, we only got about a minute or so left here coming up. What can Phoenix even do? We mentioned their depth. There's not a whole lot that they can do from a schematic or strategic standpoint because they don't have those pieces. The Wolves can shuffle people in and out of the starting lineup. I was reading a story this morning from Johnny Krasinski. Mike Conley had said to the team before the series started, look, there might be a time where a guy like Nikhil Alexander-Walker or Naz Reid, you guys might start ahead of me. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I just want to win, and that's the kind of team that this Timberwolves team is. We can move pieces. We can make different strategic adjustments, but there's not a whole lot that the Suns can do.
No, Devin Booker's going to have to go nuclear and score 50, or Kevin Durant's going to have to score 60 for this team to win. If Minnesota plays their game, doesn't turn the ball over, makes shots, and plays really good defense, they're going to win Game 3, Game 4, and Game 5. However many it takes to win this series.
And I'm saying it's taking 4. I've been taken over by the crowd. Wolves in 4.
I would love to win it in 4, but I would also love to see it at home, them clinch a series win at home.
That would be great.
Yeah.
But Wolves in 4. Wolves in 4. Wolves in 4. It's a party. Keep partying. Keep rocking. Call off of work tomorrow. Enjoy this win, y'all.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you, John Barry. And thank you, Twin Cities, for hanging out with us during Wolves Fanline. It was another exciting win, 105-93. The Minnesota Timberwolves take a 2-0 series lead against the Phoenix Suns. Next time we'll see you is Friday night in Phoenix. 9:30 p.m. at tip-off. You can hear all of the action on 100.3 KFAN. A little bit of bonus worst-case scenario leading you up to the pregame of Timberwolves Suns Game 3. In the meantime, stay safe and stay partying, Twin Cities. Your Minnesota Timberwolves are more than likely going to the second round. That's right. I'm counting the Phoenix Suns out. Bring out the brooms. We're ready for them. Denver, we want the smoke. 105-93. Your Minnesota Timberwolves win. This is Wolves Fanline, a.k.a. Howlin' with the homies. Max Fuller signing off for MC, John B, Marky Mark, Rosen, Angie, and Anna, and a whole cast of thousands. It's been fun, y'all. Have a good night. Peace.